everyone. Welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new here, hello, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing, and if you are back, as always, welcome back. Today I'm here with my weekly WIP and Chat, and if you're new, WIP stands for Work in Progress, and Chat just means that we are going to spend some time together today, hanging out and chatting and catching up on life a little bit. So feel free to pull out a project to work alongside of me. I'm going to be working on a diamond painting today and answering some tag questions a little bit later. I'm working my way through a set of tag questions from my friend Michaela I started last week in last week's WIP and Chat. I'm kind of just going to pepper a few in throughout, a few WIP and Chats till we get to the end. So yeah, let me tell you what I'm going to be working on and with, and we're going to be, and then we'll dive into it. There's a lot to cover. As you may have guessed, maybe if you've been around for a little bit, looking in front of you, it's back. It is finally back, my friends. My cross-stitch conversion project is back out. It's made an appearance again. So what a cross-stitch conversion project is, just really quickly for those of you that may not know, it is when you take a cross-stitch chart and convert it to a diamond painting. The way that you do that is by reading a chart and then placing the diamonds accordingly on a blank canvas. There's no symbols printed on here. You can see over on this part of the canvas. No symbols there. I'm just reading this cross-stitch chart, which I have. I'm using the app Pattern Keeper here on my Fire tablet. And you have to go through, I like to jump through a couple little hoops to be able to get the Google Play Store and therefore Pattern Keeper on your Fire tablet, but that's how I went about it. It wasn't too bad. So the name of the piece, I can actually pull up the artwork. Hold on just a second here. Is called Once Upon a Fairy Tale, and this is the original artwork. And because it is so large and so detailed, I've actually broken this down into 8 panels in total. So I split it down the middle and then I divided it along the shelf lines. And so I have completed the top 2 shelves completely. I will link to my cross-stitch conversion project playlist below in the description box if you want to see the various project updates I've done throughout the years on this particular project. But just earlier this week, I started here on the 3rd row, and you could see, can I zoom in? Yeah, I can. Okay, so this section right here, you can kind of see the tree branch that we're coming up here, and then there's this character that's like the wizard right here, and then this guy that's right here. I think we're gonna get into more of his body, and it looks like they're shooting at this dragon, which is kind of rude, but anyway. So these canvases are quite large. Each of the 8 panels is 35 by 95 centimeters. That does include a little bit of wiggle room. So they're big. They're quite time consuming and take a lot of mental energy, but I find them to be, when I'm in the mood for it, a really rewarding and fun challenge. So I've been really going hard on this past week and enjoying quite a lot about being back to it. As far as how I'm approaching working on it, so the way that most canvases are broken down, there's these faint, you can kind of see them, these slightly darker lines about every 10 squares. They're really obvious in the vertical, less obvious in the horizontal, but it's this particular canvas is from Evermoment. I got it a couple years ago, and so there's not numbers printed on the canvas like they sometimes do now, which they got from, I think Jada Gem Shop popularized that idea, and then a lot of other shops started doing it with their blank canvases too. But this doesn't have that. So what I've gone through and done is I've done darkened Sharpie lines to make it really obvious where that 10 by 10 grid is. And then the grid on Pattern Keeper, I'm only showing you a tiny portion of the pattern, so I think this is okay. You shouldn't show a whole pattern on on video or something because it's copyrighted, but this is literally 10 squares of over 400,000 drills. So you're not going to get much out of this, but this is broken into 10 by 10 squares as well. And so that just makes it really easy for me to follow along. And I work in 2 columns at a time, 2 10 square wide columns at a time, and I go all the way down. So I've done a couple of colors in this particular column. Actually, I think I've just done this one color, and I started on a second, which I'll get into with you shortly. And then this is just release paper I use to kind of cover it back up so I don't put my hands in the glue, because I'll start at the top and work my way down with that color and go all the way down that set of columns in the chart. I hope that kind of makes sense. This I found is one of the more efficient ways for me and my brain to do this project. And yeah, so the drills and the canvases are both from Evermoment. And I got this, over 2 years ago at this point. I had to go back and look. And I think I did the big unboxing of this kit. I think, was it May 2022? I never expected this to be this long of a project, for me to be 2 years into it and only be just now starting the second half of the project. But that's okay. We sometimes plans change or don't look exactly the way that we expected, and what can you do? You just roll with it. Anyway, as far as accessories, I am going to be testing out the Twist On diamond painting pen from Diamond Art Club. This came out a little while ago. I know there's other people that have tested these out already. I haven't. I picked one up somewhat recently and just kept meaning to wait and pull it out in a WIP and Chat. I've not tried... I've tried 1 or 2 Diamond Art Club pens before. I actually find that they break a little bit easily if you're a hard presser, so I'm a little bit nervous about that. I don't press super hard, but I feel like they can crack a little easily, and I'm a little worried about that, but we'll give it a try and we'll see. I forget, what does this come with? Does this come with any extra? I feel like is there something in the bottom, or am I imagining things? I think I'm imagining things. I am. Okay, so I got the pen, which you have to get one that says, if you want to use the Twist On like placers, it has to actually say that it's one of the Twist On pens. So this one does, and it came with a Twist On stainless steel single tip, where it's like kind of an all-in-one. Okay, I haven't tried one of those in a while either, so we'll see how I feel about that. I'm such a creature of habit. I'm like, do I like new things? These are short too. Like, this is like my Black Wolf Woodworks pen next to it. And so yeah, this is like shorter and like slimmer, I guess, like skinnier. We'll see. We'll see. I do like trying out new things with you guys, but sometimes I'm like, am I gonna like this though? So I'm a little nervous doing this, because I feel like there were some people that when I got these initially, these didn't screw in quite right. So I wonder if mine are going to, or if it's going to give me any trouble. Let's see. I tried to screw it in. Oh no. Uh-oh. Hold on. Oh wait, are we good? Okay. I had to kind of just get it so that it was hitting the thread right. I know you're zoomed out a lot right now. A lot more than I typically do for my WIP and Chats. That is specifically, okay, that's screwed in just fine. That's specifically because the columns I work in are they're big. It would honestly make more sense if I flip my phone the other orientation, but it doesn't work for my setup. I feel like it would, I don't know, I want to have my phone like shown vertically. It would just be weird. I hope that this is okay though. Okay, so I got this in here. I normally work with a 12 placer, but I don't know why I picked up an 8 placer for this Twist On instead. But this kit does not have a lot of multi-placing, so an 8 placer is just fine. Okay, as far as my other accessories go, this tray I bought off of someone at the I almost said Great Lakes. No, that's a retreat. I hear people talking about this coming up. No, the Crafters Paradise retreat. I bought this tray. It is from Firefly, and it was one of the Season of Spangler trays, which I didn't participate in the event. Draglinks and Books 2023. It's an Inferno Nano, but I love the dragon scale effect of the lid, and I love Firefly, so I thought, sure, why not? The Inferno Nano. So this is like a little bit bigger than the size of a deck of cards, and it's got some built-in features like this. You push on this and it's a little removable trash tray spot. This is a spot you can put your pen. Actually, it works really well with the Diamond Art Club pen. And then the spout has a closure that you pull this on to open and close it. So Firefly makes such good trays. I love their trays so much. This binder is from Galloway's Gallery. I'm not actually going to be using it today. It's just going to sit out and look super cute because we have the space to work with it. And then this wax is from Diamond Art Supply. I feel like they're maybe a little bit more well known for their putty, but I was kind of digging through my wax and putty stashes and trying to grab a couple things that I maybe hadn't used in a while, and I only used this wax the one time, so I thought, let's go ahead and test it out again today. Do I want to scrape? I'm going to try scraping instead of stabbing it like I apparently did the last time. So yeah, we'll see. This, I mean, that's so pretty. I don't want to scrape up the middle. Okay, we're loaded. So Diamond Art Supply, they're on Etsy. This is Blueberry Cobbler. And then this is literally just the energy I'm trying to channel right now because we're in the middle of peak summer heat. Actually, it might not even be peak summer heat. It's hot and I'm over it, as always. So I thought I'm going to use my winter dreams putty from Butterfly Effectors, just like because I'm just dreaming of winter right now. So I thought you guys would be amused. I've never used this one. Look how pretty that is. Okay. And this is just a little 8-placer. Let me load this up. And oh my gosh, I want to like even be careful. I don't want to press too hard and like crack the pen. I don't know what it is. I cracked a Diamond Art Club pen once like forever ago. I don't know if they've like changed their pens much since then, but I'm feeling, I guess, paranoid. I don't know if that loaded very deep, but let's just keep this handy in case I need to load it up a little more. So anyway, there we've got that. I'm just gonna take up some space here. Let me grab the color I was working on with last that I got partway through. I packed it away because I was gonna pull out a different tray to use, but yeah, this is number DMC 890. There's just dark green that is in some parts of this chart. So hello, hi, how are you doing today? Oh, wait. Did I say the release paper was from? It's from Crafts with Crashly. So they make really cute release paper, and I just always have it handy to use to section off with this conversion project. So, or to, cover up the glue as I'm working when I start a new set of columns. So yes, hi, hello, how are you doing? I hope that your weekend was wonderful and that your week is off to a wonderful start. I'm filming this on Sunday evening as always, and just getting ready to start another week of summer with my kiddos and hubby, and enjoying working on this cross-stitch conversion project. My neighbor's dog, knock on wood, is not currently in its werewolf era, but it was earlier when I was setting up, and I thought, oh, here we go again. So we'll see. I am just gonna enjoy getting to chat with you. Wow, they're quiet. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. But yeah, it's I turn off my fan when I film, like my overhead fan, because it can cause some reflections with like reflecting off the plastic. And I know that like as someone that is very sensory sensitive in terms of like migraines and stuff, I couldn't handle it. I couldn't watch at all if there was that kind of flashing effect whatsoever. And so I always turn it off. But in the summer, it does get a little toasty when I do that. So I'm just gonna sit here and slowly bake a little bit. But yeah, so project-wise, like I said, I started this panel earlier in the week. I'm trying to remember when I talked with you. So when I talked with you last week, I was kitting up my dragon kit for the month from True Artist Diamond Painting. I noticed that like the day after I put up that WIP and Chat that I got the notification that they had come back from vacation mode on Etsy. So I don't see that dragon kit in their shop. And I don't think I have in a while, but they do have a lot of other kits in stock. So do go and check them out. I did not work on that dragon kit anymore after the WIP and Chat just because I really was feeling the itch to work on this project. And then I wanted to work on this little mini Summer with a Masters kit. Oh, I should have brought that over to show to you guys. I showed it in my Summer with a Masters video yesterday. That little, it's a 20 by 20 centimeter kit from Diamond Artisan Shop. That's another Hokusai kit that is almost entirely like an off-white background that I multi-placed. So that was like a one-day project. I kitted it up. Well, I didn't even kit it up. I started it in the morning one day and then finished it before I went to bed, and that was a really cute and fun little project. But so I took a break from this project to do that one. I also worked on my Disney Craft Buddy stickers, and I'm down to only having 3 left to do. I was sitting down to like potentially film working on, particularly the very last one, because the very last one I'm going to finish is Ariel, because she's my favorite, Disney princess, and was the one that I kind of all along that journey was joking about like, oh, am I gonna get Ariel from this mystery pack? Nope. Oops. I ended up having to. I either traded for her, or was given to me by someone at the retreat, which was just absolutely wonderful. So, but I just thought, yeah, she'll be the last one that I do, and I thought it could be fun to do that one on video. I'm hoping maybe I could get to that video this week. It'd be fun to kind of close that chapter of my diamond painting journey, because that I started almost a year ago. I think that Craft Buddy launched that last fall maybe, and they're running it. I think that they officially extended it through the end of the year if you live in the UK, but I think they still are no longer shipping to the States. So there are some swap groups, like some BST, buy sell trade groups, where you can buy or trade for the stickers that you're missing. But I feel really bad for the people that just, they started later on and they're not going to have time to realistically complete their collections. But I also understand that licensing agreements are what they are, and eventually they come to an end. So I don't know if you're still hoping to track down some. I hope you're able to find them. But so I worked on that this week, and I'm probably going to work on this kit for just like another day or two, and then just because I'm worried about running out of time to finish my July Dragon kit, I probably should hop back over to that one and work on it until it's done, and then I can come back to this panel. But I think I'm just really worried about losing momentum, because this project, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with it sometimes. I feel like I both really enjoy working on it, but then there's something about it that has a tendency to really fatigue me and, for lack of a better phrase, burn me out. I think I talked about that in my last progress check-in video with regards to this project. And just kind of talking through this weird, like, polar opposite set of feelings I have towards this project. I'm not feeling, fatigue with it right now, but sometimes it sneaks up on me. And, there's other things that I feel like I've already learned and taken away from this project that I'm definitely going to do differently next time. But the problem is that I can't already go ahead and take those learnings and learn from them, because this project is not done yet, and probably is not going to be for quite some time. Again, I'm 2 years into it, and I sometimes will go months in between working on panels for it. And so it might take me another 2 years to finish this project. Could take even longer. It could take even shorter, but I just don't know. One of my main takeaways is that I'm going to be much pickier about what artwork I choose to work on. I think I am going to gravitate towards artwork that does not have this absolutely incredible but also crazy level of detail to it that is exceptionally difficult to translate, especially at a diamond painting form. I imagine that it would come together a little bit better in cross stitch form, just because of the nature of the medium and the materials you're working with, but it just looks different this way. I also like nothing whatsoever against Heaven and Earth Designs. I just know that I'm more aware of more cross stitch chart shops that are out there, a lot of whom do hand charting, and I feel like I would be a lot more drawn to working on hand charted. Did I say hand drawn or hand charted? Hand charted, charts. I think that might be a little bit more enjoyable, whereas I feel like this is my strong impression is that this really just feels like it's a computer render. I can't say that with certainty. There are certain things about it that I find to typically be characteristics of a computer render. So, and some of the details are definitely being lost in translation, but, I'm working on enjoying it for what it is and taking the learnings along with it, and just being okay with, yeah, this is going to be incredibly super pixelated, and that's okay. Like, I think it's still going to be really cool. And as far as I'm going to have to step back to even be able to get a picture of all 8 panels when they're done, like, everyone's brain is just going to make sense of and bring all of these like pixels together to make sense of the artwork in some way. So it's just not quite as satisfying to work on up close. So I have all these learnings and insights that I can't totally make use of. Like I can't change that about this actual project I'm working on right now. I can just keep it in mind when I go to work on the next one. So there's a couple of, potential cross-stitch conversion type projects I may be working on in the near future, but I'm kind of waiting to see how some things pan out, and we'll go from there. But anyway, so lots of different projects that I've been working on this past week and making progress on. It's hard to believe that we're just a week and a half away from the end of July. And that means, the end of summer with a master's, which is always very bittersweet to see coming to an end. I put up my last event video today or yesterday, depending on when you're watching this video. And that I was just kind of doing a recap of the different projects that I worked on and talked a little bit about how I decided, like what kits I wanted to work on, and, kind of bounced some ideas off of you all. And yeah, so I keep thinking that one of these, like maybe next summer, which will be like the 5th summer with a master's, not that like we've 100% committed to doing it, but I imagine that it'll occur in some form. I'll probably do another John William Waterhouse piece. And I think it would be really fun to go ahead and pull out at that time, 5 different John William Waterhouse kits that I've worked on over the years. I'd be curious to hear if anyone else has done that, where they've, been drawn to or worked on multiple pieces from the same artist. I also think that a lot of people will do when it comes to, non-Old Masters artwork. Like a lot of people love a particular artist's work and will do a lot of pieces from that artist and gravitate towards them. And so I just wonder if that's also the case with Old Masters. I see a lot of Muka, but yeah. Oh, there's our doggo friend. So I gotta say, yeah, Summer of the Masters, thinking about projects to work on. Okay, we're getting to the end of these columns with this particular color. I'm just gonna shift the canvas as we move. That way you'll be able to see more of it. I think that's just more practical. So yeah, let me grab the list of tag questions that we were working through. We started on last week. Like I mentioned earlier, these were put together by Michaela. She has a channel, Michaela Renee, and actually she just hit 3,000 subscribers today. So congrats, Michaela. And I haven't officially tagged anyone else to do this set of tag questions yet, because at the end, I think the very last question is tag some people to do this. So I'll do that once I get to that last question. But in the meantime, if you are, watching this and you have a channel or someplace that you would like to answer these questions, consider yourself tagged. Go for it. And if you're just watching and crafting along, if you would like to answer these in the comments section, please do so. I really did enjoy reading your responses to last week's tag questions and hearing about how a lot of you got started with diamond painting and what that journey has looked like, who your favorite artists are and that sort of thing. So let me just change out this color, and then I will grab those tag questions. I'll also link directly to the video where these, where these questions are found in the description box of that video. Just, check out the description box of this video. You're gonna find tons and tons of helpful links. So I'm gonna scroll back up to the top here, and let's pick my next color. Let's do, let's mix it up. And let's do a light color that you guys will actually be able to see a little bit more of. So, all right, then where do we leave off? My last question, we ended last week with the question of what is the artist you own the most diamond paintings from? And the first question for this week is, what is your go-to wax when diamond painting? And go-to putty as well. If you use neither, just what is your go-to? For me, while you'll see me really trying to test out a lot of different products in in my videos, especially in my WIP and Chats, I'm really trying to try out a variety of products for you guys and for my own sake, so I don't just get in a rut with what I'm working with. Having been diamond painting for 4.5 years now, I still have found products that I do find myself reaching for time and again when I just want something that I know is going to work well for me and my diamond painting style. So for me, my go-to wax is Not Your Mama's Mud. It's sold by the Etsy store Whimsical Daisies. Daisies spelled Daisys. And I don't believe that she has a set restock schedule. It seems to be relatively random. If I am wrong about this, please let me know. I just basically have her shop favorited and check back, relatively regularly when I'm scrolling through my Etsy store favorites. And at this point, I have enough of a stash that I think I might even have basically all the scents that she's released, because she doesn't tend to release new scents as often. But that's my go-to. I use that in my single placer. I like to use wax in my single placer and putty in my multi-placer, but you can do it the opposite. You can use putty in both or wax in both. Or glue dots, whatever works for you. Is great, but for me, I like wax in my single placer, putty in my multi-placer. So Not Your Mama's Mud. I also do like patty wax, and I like wee wax, but both wee wax and patty wax are they could be a little bit more fickle depending on the weather here. You'll find that with a lot of wax and putty products that while I might talk about like, oh my gosh, I love these waxes, they work great for me. If you live in a very different climate than I do, you might be going, these don't work for me at all. Like, what are you talking about? This is just not it. So climate can be a huge factor. Also, how you diamond paint, like, are you a heavy or a light presser? What kind of, pen and multi-placer are you using? There's so many factors. So that's why I always kind of give that caveat when I, mention my favorite, this product is this. It's like, well, but it might not be for you because everyone diamond paints a little bit differently. So anyway, so Not Your Mama's Mud, patty wax, and wee wax are my go-tos, with Not Your Mama's Mud probably being my top favorite. And then for putty, I really like Randa's Crafty Corner. That is kind of my tried and true. Like, I'll go back to it every time. It's pretty consistent for me in all climates, and I rarely have to change it out. I can do a lot of diamond painting before I have to change it. I do like Butterfly Effect Wear's putty. I do like the Pure Bliss Wax Company putty, and what's the other one? Abby's diamond painting putty. I haven't used theirs in a while, but I remember liking it. I think I only have one scent because they're UK based, and so it's more expensive to get my hands on. Though they do partner with Diamond Art Studio UK, and so you can combine shipping on that if you're getting, kits or something. At least they were partnering with them at one point. And then there's one I know that I'm blanking on that I just pulled back out again recently and was thinking, oh, I forgot. Like, I do really like this one too. Oh wait, is it right here? Do I have it here? I do. Okay. Diamond Painting Putty by Cat, or Crafting Cat UK is this one. So top favorite is Randa's Crafty Corner, but the others, I guess I'm less picky when it comes to my putty. I'll go between the others relatively interchangeably too. I just grab the ones that have a scent I'm in the mood for that day, or color coordinate with the kid if I'm doing like an accessories picture or something. So yeah, but hope that was helpful. What about you guys? I know a ton of people swear by glue dots. I have tried them more than once, and they just, I can't get them to work for me. I've tried. They are so fussy for me, and I just go, well, that's okay. They're just not for me, and that's okay. But yeah, I know a lot of people do swear by them, and some people will say they can load them up into their pens and go like virtually never having to change them. So, okay, so that was the answer to that question. Question number 10 is, what do you do with your finished diamond paintings? Do you hang them, put them in a portfolio, or something else? I actually did a video on this. How long ago was that? It was less than a year ago. Was it this year? I think it might have been earlier this year or late last year. I did a video on how I store my, or what I do with my completed diamond paintings and how I store them, because I don't hang them. I know a lot of people will only work on, specifically on diamond paintings that they're planning to display in their home. And I have exactly one diamond painting displayed in my home. And it was, even that is mostly because it was part of a framing partnership deal that I did with Joann's quite a while back. And, you know, it looks really pretty, and it's a landscape actually. And that is hanging in my home, but that's really, like, that's it. If I had a dedicated craft room, I would have more diamond paintings hanging for sure, but I don't have a dedicated crafting space. So I'm just picking out, there's bits of trash in here. Some of these colors are very trash prone. Like visible, you can see like the bits hanging off the side. So yeah, if I had a craft room, I would hang a lot more. But since I don't, then I don't hang them. I've tried a couple of different portfolios. Portfolios I have found to ultimately if you're trying to store a large number of completed diamond paintings, they are a lot more difficult to work with in terms of, for example, the Baroque portfolio that I had tested out here. It's a very, very expensive product, and I cannot actually really in good conscience recommend it for diamond painting now that I have been working with it for a little while. It's a beautiful, beautiful product, but it's intended for like movie posters, things that weigh significantly less than diamond paintings do. So I found that when I got more than a few paintings in that portfolio with the sleeves, that it got so heavy. I couldn't lift it up. I wanted to pull the plastic sleeves, out of the binding. And I heard a lot of people say this about Art Dot's portfolio too. So I think that that diamond paintings, especially if we're working on a lot of them, and if they're bigger, there's just not a really good portfolio type solution, and certainly not one that is cost effective. So my current solution that I am relatively happy with involves basically, I'm rolling them back up. And I roll like 5 or 6 together, and I clip them. In that video, I showed using metal clips, and then got some feedback that was like, you want to be careful because that metal may rust over time and discolor your canvases. So I switched to these little plastic clips instead. So thank you for the feedback on that, by the way, that I was given. So I roll up, 5 or 6 paintings, clip them together, and slide them in a plastic sleeve. And I put a big sticker on the sleeve, and I label what kits are in that sleeve. And then I put that sleeve, along with however many sleeves will fit, in an underbed tote. And that is a lot more practical for storing them. I think for me, it's more space efficient than storing them flat in a portfolio. And it's more practical for me to be able to, move them if needed, because a tote is more designed to be able to pick up something that's heavy. So I've been doing that for about a year, I believe, and I'm pretty happy with that storage solution, especially given the amount of space that I have to work with, which is just not a lot. But I would be incredibly curious to hear from you if you have a different storage solution, especially if it's something that's really space efficient. I'm really interested to hear what you do and what your approach is. So that's what I do. I actually have a number of paintings that are still in portfolios that I need to convert to this system. I was basically doing it by year. I have 170 completed paintings. And so it just is a really time-consuming process to convert them all over to this particular system. And I just lost steam after I did a couple of years, and I haven't gotten back to it. I got a little bit off this, and then I need to go stair step to here, and then I need to go back to this column. I need to go down to 2 below. I feel like sometimes I'm playing with fire by working on my cross-stitch conversion project and trying to talk to you guys at the same time that I'm counting, places and stuff. It's okay. I haven't had any incredible mistakes knock on wood, in the past. Anyway, so that's how I store my completed diamond paintings. That's not to say that, I don't know, maybe in the future I'll come up with a different way that just I find to be even more efficient and practical. I'd love to be able to flip through my canvases. Honestly, that was my hope with getting the really large portfolio with the plastic sleeves in it, is I loved the idea of being able to flip through them. The reality was there were still a number of canvases that were too big even for that giant system, and just the fact that it got so heavy to try to work with. It was just so impractical. It got completely impractical. And there was no way I was going to be pulling it out to flip through. Like, that wasn't even going to be happening, so there was no benefit. I can't bring myself to like toss or donate that portfolio because it cost so much money. So it's just kind of sitting in my garage. And I'm like, maybe, I don't know, maybe someday I'll have something to do with it, but I just cannot bring myself to just flat get rid of it right now. I don't collect like movie posters, so I can't use it for what its kind of intended purpose was, but here we are. So the next question is number 11. Do you like to open your kits right away, or do you keep them sealed until you're ready to work on them? For me, it depends. Obviously, if it's something that I'm doing an unboxing video for, it's gonna get opened. But if it's something that I just bought for myself, I don't open them actually until I work on them. And I know that this can be a little dangerous. Like, a lot of people will tell you, and honestly, like, I would probably tell you as well, like, you should open it up and check your canvas as soon as you get it, because there have definitely been instances of people being like the wrong canvas being in the box. Or something like that. And if it's like a kit that ends up going out of stock, then you're out of luck. Like, if it's a couple of years and you go to work on it and it's like, oh, and this is the wrong canvas, but now there's nothing that can be done. The company can't replace it, canvas because it's, discontinued or something. So I'm not very good about that. I'm not good about opening them up and checking on them when I get them if I'm not doing a video. But I know that I should. It hasn't come back to bite me yet. How much am I tempting fate today? My gosh. But someday it might come back to bite me. I don't know. What about you guys? Do you open them right away to take a look? Or do you just leave it sealed? And, when you're ready to work on it, you open it up and go. And have you ever gotten the wrong canvas in a box before, or some other kind of error that was, problematic? I'd be curious to hear, because I'm like, well, it hasn't happened to me yet, but that doesn't mean it couldn't happen to me at any time. Hold on a second. Then I want it to go here, and then I want it to go here. Okay. Kind of highlighting the ones that I've done as I go so that I can mostly keep my place. Okay. Next question is, what is your number one unicorn kit that if it was easy to obtain, you'd love to own? Oh, this is a good one. I'm really lucky that I found what were my major unicorns. I have some minor unicorns at this point. I am casually, like, I'm kind of looking for like these older retired Erica the Goober mermaids. Actually, all 4 of them came up for sale on a D-Stash group, I think last week. And the way that I so badly wanted to pick them up, I have one of the 4. But like, I'm in no kind of financial position to be doing that. So of course I did not. But those, like, I'm kind of casually looking for. Let me see. There's a couple of other like kind of vintagey diamond art clip kits that would be fun to own. I really like the Castle by Andres Roca. Is it called? I don't remember. Is it called Dark Times? That one would be really fun. But like, whenever some of these kits get listed, it's for just exorbitant prices. So for a long time it was the Mandy Manzano Princess panels and some of the other retired Mandy Manzano pieces, but I think I have all the must-haves for me at this point, so I feel really lucky. There might be something I'm forgetting. I don't think there's anything that I'm actively searching for that I would call my unicorn. By the way, I guess I should define it for those of you that don't know, like, okay, what is a unicorn? This, some people use it differently. I noticed that its definition has gotten a lot more loosely used more recently. I guess I say more recently, but it's been, you know, for a long time, like months, years at this point. Unicorn used to mean like a kit that was really difficult to get, something that was, you know, discontinued, or something that was something that's really, really actually difficult to find, that it doesn't come up for sale almost ever, or very, very rarely. It wasn't originally intended to be used for like, oh, a kit that like you're just waiting to come back in stock, or just artwork that you really like, that just hasn't been like made yet. It was more like in most, you know, collecting circles, a unicorn refers to something that is, you know, typically retired, very, very difficult to come by because it rarely comes up for sale, that kind of thing. So that's what a unicorn technically is, but some people use it more generally speaking to just refer to a kit they're really excited that came back in stock, or artwork that they're really excited got turned into diamond painting form. So, yeah, that's my answer to that one. Let me do one more, and then we'll catch up on some life stuff. So, number 13, the question is, what is the kit in your stash you are most looking forward to working on? This is a good one because I've had a kit on my mind that I would really like to work on soon. And it's The Universe in a Jar by Randall Spangler. And this one has been on my mind because basically since the beginning of the year, where I unboxed all of my dragon kits, in sort of to kind of kick off this year of the dragon sort of diamond painting challenge I set for myself to work on one dragon painting each month. And The Universe in a Jar is one that I just have a lot of sentimental attachment to. It was my it wasn't my first true unicorn, but it was the first kit that I was very eagerly waiting for Diamond Art Club to restock back in 2020. And it was one of the very first, it was either the first or the second Randall Spangler kit that Diamond Art Club had licensed and released. And for a long time, they only had those two Diamond Art Club kits. And those two Randall Spangler kits at Diamond Art Club, those were the only two. It was Universe in a Jar and Flight of the Fireflies. So I just was really enamored with Universe in a Jar from the first time I saw someone working on it in like early summer 2020. And so then I picked it up. It's still got some of like the slightly older Diamond Art Club packaging with how they did the stickers at the time and stuff. But that one has been in my rainy day stash for a while, and I just knew going into this year, with it being the year of the dragon and everything, I just felt like, okay, it's time. I'm ready to work on that kit. And I don't know what month I'm going to actually work on it, but I know that I really do want to work on it this year. Maybe in August, maybe August would be a good month for it because, you know, September and October, I imagine I'm going to shift into like fall and Halloween mode. And then we're going to be, you know, the end of the year will just be around the corner, and I don't want to run out of time to work on that one. Not that I can't work on it, you know, after this year, but I'm looking forward to working on it. It's been on my mind a lot, and I'm going to be really happy and excited to actually, start working on that one. I have a lot of kits in my rainy day stash, but that's the one that I have been actively thinking about lately and going, yeah, I'm gonna be excited and ready to work on that one. Hopefully in the near future is my thought. So okay, yes, that's it for the tag questions. We only got through a few today because I've been feeling pretty chatty. There's 25 in total, and that was question number 13. So I imagine we'll be going for a couple more weeks at least with these. Like I said, if you have a channel or have a space where you want to answer these questions yourself, consider yourself tagged, and check below for the link to the video where you can see the list of questions written out for you. So thanks, Michaela, for putting these questions together. And let's chat and just catch up a little bit on life too. So this past week was another fun summery week for us here. I did have a pretty difficult week mental health wise. It was rough. I am thinking about giving my doctor a call about potentially doing a med change. We'll see. I'm not going to make any decisions without talking to her. I was going to try to wait until we got to August 1st when she'll actually be taking our insurance officially again. So I'm going to see if I can make it to then. But there was a point this past week where I was like, there's no way I'm just going to have to pay out of pocket. So, it was a bit of a struggle, but I'm feeling a lot more leveled out the past couple of days, thankfully. I just, between mental health and like, I've had a couple of really, really bad migraines. I spent most of yesterday in a little bit of a migraine hangover. I made the mistake of, I felt that I had a migraine coming on Friday night and thought, okay, this isn't that bad yet. Let me see if I just go to sleep, if I can, hold on a second, did I do that wrong? No, okay, that's right, okay. Let me see if I can just go to sleep and maybe it'll go away in my sleep, and when I wake up, it'll be gone, and then I won't have had to like take meds for it because it's a whole thing I don't necessarily want to get into. Basically, it's hard. It's kind of a roll of the dice if meds are going to work for me. And no, I woke up on Saturday morning. Like, it woke me up early. I think I slept like 4 hours, and I woke up just feeling horrible. So I did force myself to get up and to eat something so that I could take the meds that I wanted to take, which was just Excedrin migraine, but it absolutely it's so incredibly hard on my stomach. So it's like I had to eat something and drink like 2 full glasses of water, and then take it and then stay upright and hope it was going to kick in and not make me feel really sick. And then try to go back to sleep. And then I just felt like I was in a haze kind of the rest of the day. Like, migraines are they're no joke. And my mental health with that struggle too, it's quite possible that they're linked. I know that we're going through, my family's kind of dealing with a lot right now. And I just have to do what I need to do to take care of myself. And that includes like, obviously there's like a lot going on like in diamond painting world right now. And I just, I'm not trying to weaponize my mental health here, like, or, promote toxic positivity or whatever. I just simply, like, I have to take care of my mental health right now because I just have way too much going on. And the way that stress impacts my chronic migraines and my depression and anxiety, like that's, I have to take care of that. So I can take care of my kids, so that I can do what I need to try to help with, what I try to do for our family. And so it's hard. You got to do what you got to do to draw boundaries and take care of your mental health. And I would encourage you and like validate you, whatever you need to do those things. You take care of you and your family. So anyway, I was, though, in addition to kind of leveling out, I was very productive today. I had that like burst of energy, and I finally tackled a project that had been hanging over my head just a little bit, which I had kind of gotten half started on and then lost steam through at one point several weeks ago. And that was doing a big kind of clean out and reorganizing of my closet shelves. I just had like various like bags and purses stuffed in various places, various like crafting supplies from when I picked up a variety of different crafts like in early 2020 that I hadn't touched in, 4 years. So today I had that burst of energy to finish going through it. I have a whole big box of stuff to take over to donate. I have a big bag of stuff that I'm just flat throwing away. And then the rest of what I am keeping is much more well organized. And I just have this like big sense of relief and peace with having that done. And so I was glad that I was like, okay, perfect. Got a project taken care of. I feel productive and accomplished and all that. And then on Friday we went to down to Newport Beach, actually one of the little kind of coves tucked away. So there weren't like any active waves or anything like that, because it was, it was very just still, because it was a cove with like docks and stuff. I went there for my sister-in-law's birthday, and I wasn't totally sure what the boys would think, because typically Micah hasn't been the biggest fan of the ocean. Like if we're on the beach, like really on the ocean itself because the waves are really loud. And not only is it really loud, but it's a little more overwhelming with the waves that coming in and going out. But we went to this cove kind of tucked in Newport Beach because, well, we went there because they were doing movies on the beach in the summer and that they were showing Back to the Future that night. And so we got there early and had dinner on the beach. And then we're letting the kids kind of play. And like I said, I didn't know what to expect from the kids. I kind of was prepared that like they weren't going to be super into it. But no, as soon as we got there, Micah, my youngest, immediately wanted to go down to the water. So I got him changed, and he was just having a blast, kind of really getting his feet wet. He kind of wanted to keep trying to go out and go a little bit deeper, and I was like, no, buddy, because he doesn't really know how to swim just yet. So I was like, no, I know that like there's no waves or anything, but let's not go too far out. And then I was really surprised that Connor, like, he wanted to get changed into a swimsuit and go down and get into the water. And at one point, I have this really wonderful picture that I won't be sharing here because I don't share my kids' faces on, my public-facing YouTube channel. Patreon will see them and stuff, but just for sake of their privacy and whatnot, and people on the internet can... I don't know, when you get some of the wild comments that I do, it definitely makes me not want to share my kids' faces here. But anyway, it's a really, really cute picture of them sitting in the water together, just loving it and having this really cute, like, picturesque brotherly moment. I was like, this is like your stereotypical Facebook worthy post, but it's like generally not the reality of what life with these kiddos looks like, because it's, they've got lots of sensory sensitivities. They both have special needs. So I just, I try to go into things like situations like this optimistic and hoping that it's going to go well, but also being prepared for sort of the reality of, sand might just really not be it for them, and we might have to just be ready to, we'll relocate to another spot where they don't have to be getting sand all over themselves. But I was so happily surprised that no, they had a wonderful, 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 wonderful time, and we definitely want to take them back there. And I feel like one of the best things about it was that it was this tucked away little cove, so we weren't dealing with the noise and kind of the more intense movement of waves coming in. So we'll definitely be going back there for sure. This week, it's Micah's last week of summer school, and then we'll have the whole week of August off before our school year starts pretty late. And it's late relative to, I feel like, most people. Our school year doesn't start till late August. So we'll have, basically a month, with no summer school, just be home and chill and whatever. And then Connor is going to a VBS program this week, which hopefully he will enjoy. He did one of the VBS program earlier in the summer that he loved. It's just half day. It's just in the mornings. And one of my local friends has been to this one before, and I was texting her earlier to be like, hey, like, so all your kids are signed up to. Do you have any tips? Because this looks like this is a much bigger program than the one that we went to earlier in the summer. So we'll see. I hope it all goes smoothly. She was like, just prepare to be sitting in that parking lot for a while to get out, because there'll be a lot of people. It's like, oh, okay, like school pickup drop off line style. She's like, that'll be busy. But no, I'm excited. I think it'll be fun, and it's, VBS programs are a lot more cost effective than day camps and stuff like that are. So hopefully Connor will have a good time. Yeah. So, and then my mom is going to be here in a week and a half. And she's been diamond painting her heart out. I love it so much. She texts me updates. Like, she's just finishing up this discontinued beautiful kit from Diamond Art Club called Nativity that I had given her, a little while back. She was so in love with the artwork when she saw it. And I was like, you have to have this. And so she's been loving working on it. I think she finished it today, even though she had texted me a picture and said, I'm on the last section, but I almost just want to save it and not do it because I don't want to be done with this kit already. And I was like, you really are a diamond painter now, because I feel like a lot of us can really relate to sort of that feeling of like, I don't want this painting to be done. I love it so much. But, I'm really happy that she was able to, like, that I gave that kit to her to work on, because I was having a hard time letting it go, because it's by MacNeil Studio, who they no longer license with Diamond Art Club and haven't for a few years. And so the artwork I have from them is very, very cherished. And even though I never saw myself really like working on that particular piece, I couldn't bring myself to let it go like in a D-stash or something either. So I'm just happy my mom worked on it. As far as what I have been reading and watching and listening to, reading wise, I don't have anything like really fun to report on this, but I have something funny to talk about, which is, does anyone else just get these wild, unhinged, where the heck did this come from kind of suggested Facebook posts? I am in like a couple of Facebook groups related to like A Court of Thorns and Roses or Sarah J. Maas's work. And I think I'm in like maybe Fans of Urban Fantasy or something. And something about that has had Facebook decide that it needs to be feeding me these just unhinged and often like really NSFW like suggested Facebook posts. And I'm like, I don't know what's happening, but this is both hilarious and sometimes horrifying to see. Like, I'm sorry, what is this? What's happening? But I just am wondering, am I the only one? I can't be the only one that's had this happen to me before. I feel like I've seen memes about this too, so I know it's not just me, but I'll just be scrolling and, oh, look, there's pictures of my friends' kids. Oh, I'm sorry, what about werewolves? And here we go. So that's been what's happening. And then as far as what I've been watching, still in kind of Star Trek mode, Adam and I haven't had the chance to watch more Picard yet. And we only watched the first 2 episodes. It was a little bit of a cliffhanger. I'm really ready to get back to it, but we've both just been really busy in our evenings taking care of, like, you know, I've been doing like diamond painting and a lot of videos this week, and he's had like some photo editing he's been working on. It's just a lot easier for us to do it at night when the kids are in bed. We can work, without interruption. And, obviously when our kids are awake, so we want to be playing and hanging out when interacting with them, of course. So I need to get back to that though. And then listening to, I've discovered another YouTuber, and I'm trying to think of how I ended this person up getting suggested to me, but I'm so happy now because I'm binging her content. I've done those other creators before, like Jenny Nicholson was one of them, like Carrie Can Read. There's others too, but this is, I feel like if you're on YouTube, you may have heard of her. It's Sarah Z if you're in America, or Sarah Z if you're like anywhere else. And she says Sarah Z, but it's Sarah and the letter Z or the letter Z. And I've watched a few different videos of hers now, and she talks a lot about like different things related to like fan culture, and she does these really fascinating to me like deep dives on various topics that are really well, in my opinion, well researched and really like well thought out, and just addresses things in a very like neutral and interesting way. Like there was one that I read that was sort of about she called it like something like a thorough defense of fan fiction. And it wasn't just like a person talking about how like, oh no, like let me love my fan works. She was talking about like where fan fiction came from and what value it has in society, and what's, how it should be, held up in terms of standards or compared to other mediums and whatnot. And she, what kind of place it has, like what purposes it can serve and whatnot. And it was just really fascinating to me as someone that is a part of fandoms in a lot of different ways. It's so refreshing to hear someone talk about it in such a like intelligent, like critically thinking and balanced way. So I don't know, let me know if you're familiar with this channel, and if you've, gone on a binge of this content too. I'm down the rabbit hole and watching a bunch of her stuff now, but it's been more listening to, because it's all just kind of commentary style. So I don't have to be watching at all. Oh my gosh, I'm at 58 minutes already. Okay, we got to wrap this up. So this week, what I've got coming, I'm still playing a lot of catch up. I know last week was really heavy on my Diamond Art Club unboxings because a lot came in at once. It just, it's not on purpose. Sometimes it's just what the mail does and what makes sense for what I'm going to post on my channel and timing wise. So I might have some more this week. We'll just, again, see what the mail does. I have a review or two of some kits I'd like to do, and I am so close to finishing that Disney sticker book from Craft Buddy UK that it would be neat to be able to finish that and do my wrap-up video for that as well. So stay tuned. I know my small shop hauls have been a little fewer and further between because my spending is drastically down, and so I'm spreading out what I do have. But maybe this week will be a week for a small shop haul. We'll see. Stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss it. But as far as what I thought of what I worked with today, this was perfectly fine. This is actually a pretty comfortable pen. This is like, I don't have it handy. This though looks and feels the same sort of turning, like the style and everything is like the same as the new twist putty pens, like the refillable putty pens that Diamond Art Club has that's coming in their new toolkits now. It feels like it's the same overall. It's just like, you know, an acrylic or whatever. But every once in a while, the twist ends would get like a tiny bit loose, and I'd find myself, you know, having to retighten them a little bit. But I mean, it seems to really just function about the same as a regular pen. The twist is hypothetically more secure, but like I said, a couple of times I felt like it got a little bit loose, but I'm afraid of over tightening it because I've seen these cracks. So you know, it's good. It's fine. I don't think it's like groundbreaking, but I think it's nice for maybe people that don't want to mess with washi tape and sort of want the maybe security of screw-in tips. I don't know. Let me know if you've worked with them and what you think. No complaints about my other accessories either. All good stuff. We got a few colors done. Hope it was fun to get to see some of this come together. Now you're probably like, what is all this red? I think I just started into some of the clothing of like this character, and I think there might be another character over here. So I think that's what's happening. But anyway, I'll try to post some progress updates on Instagram as I keep working on this. So I guess check me out over there if you're interested to follow along. But let's go really just against the weather right now. And let's say that if you made it to the end of this video, why don't you include a snowflake emoji? Because let's just pretend like it's cool outside and in honor of this Winter Dreams putty. So snowflake emoji. Let me know how you were doing. I'm looking forward to reading if you answered any of the tag questions I talked about today. And I appreciate that you took some time to watch today's video and spend some time with me. Hope you're doing wonderfully. Have a great rest of your week, my friends. Be sure that you're subscribed if you want to see more diamond painting videos from me. And have a day and a week that's as amazing as you are. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.